Let me get over there. I'll open it inside this.
Look at all the portions that we have left on this. We don't really have a lot, guys.
Follow it.
All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to split the rear leg.
Split the rear leg.
So we're just going to take it right down the side. Now, one thing that you're going to notice different from the lamb leg compared to the beef is that the top sirloin is still left on the lamb leg when we cut it. If this were a beef animal, the cut would have been right about here. However, because this is lamb, the top sirloin is still left on here, and sometimes this is referred to as the culotte. The culotte. And I would take these little pieces and roast them off and slice them for the guests, a little acid marinade, or I would take these little pieces and grill them, serve it to the guests like that. Awesome piece of meat. One whole little top sirloin. Okay, a couple things we're going to see here. Just like on the beef animal, I see here, this is the H-bone. We can see where the tail comes down here, and then this hip bone comes into here. This is where... So what we want to do is we're going to take and then just follow this H-bone all the way down until we expose the ball and socket, and right in between this ball and socket is a little tendon. We have to cut through that tendon. We're going to get in and around this piece of flesh. On this side, we're going to get in and around the H-bone, lightly pulling until we cut through the tendons that are in and around the ball and socket of the hip. We're removing the top sirloin as we remove everything else. And this is the hip bone and part of the spine that goes into the tail. Now what we want to do, and this is sort of a cool method, you probably will never see this again, we're going to take and cut in and around the ball and socket of the hip, the leg bone. And there's a lot of tendons in here. No. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to cut in and around the kneecap here, come down on both sides. I'm going to remove this shank, cut off the Achilles tendon, okay, remember those old cars that they used to start with a crank? Jalopies or whatever they used to call them?
Seabird. Model T.
Maybe a Model T.
Model T.
There's a lot of tendons in and around this little kneecap here, so we have to cut through them as well. Now we take this and we crank it up like an old Model T. Starting that old car. Vroom, vroom. And we pop the bone right out. Now we have a boneless lamb leg that we take and tie. And we can put in a marinade, garlic, rosemary, salt, pepper, lemon, olive oil, marinate that overnight, and then sell it. Okay?
You do what? You sell it?
Right here, Al? guys want to get that piece of machinery for me? Beautiful. Okay.
Is there a difference between the front leg and the back leg?
Definitely a big difference. Let me show you. Hey, let's go here.